AAA studios, high-profile spokespeople and indie devs all get plenty of time in the spotlight, but what does the next generation of game developers think? We turn the tables to pick the brains of students, find out their thoughts on some of the current challenges and opportunities making games, and reveal the marks they hope to leave on the industry.
You can't, just as a student, feasibly, just go straight work with Ubisoft or Naughty Dog or something like that. You need to just, dive into the deep end and just go about making an indie game.
As indie developers, you just have that much more freedom. You have the ability to come up with those ideas that mainstream or larger companies wouldn't risk.
The gaming industry at the moment, there aren't too many jobs in the big studios, although there are jobs if you're good enough. Definitely, they'll make a space for you. But I think a lot of people are going to kind of branch off and make their own games.
For the wider audience to really want new content, I think that's where the indie market's kind of hitting, and it's going really well.
I think it's always going to be on the rise from now on because of the ease of access to the tools.
There's too many games coming out that we want to play, so the idea of something that at least alleviates some of the financial pressure of wanting to play everything, I think is good.
I don't think free-to-play is ever going to totally replace AAA games, just because, even if it's just because of the stigma around them, as soon as someone announces a game is going free-to-play, everyone just thinks, oh, pay to win, and it's going to have heaps of stuff cut out, it's just not going to be worth my time.
I think it's definitely a threat to the gaming industry as a whole, just because a lot of people are finding these days that playing games, they want to know what they're playing before they purchase a game, and especially if they can play a game and get the feel of the experience.
And I think more people are going to get the free stuff more than they want to buy, the consoles and the console games and everything else.
I think free-to-play is a great model. I think it really introduces a lot more players to the game.
It brings in a lot of people that wouldn't normally consider themselves gamers as such.
Because game development, game design is such a new field. I'll be surprised if any institution in the world has got it exactly right. I'm very thankful to Quantum for just giving me the tools and the mindset, and I think it's really up to the individual to try and put those in the best use.
There is no one rulebook to how to make a good game.
We're learning something that is constantly evolving and constantly changing. The honest truth is, nobody can really prepare you on a technological level. You can only ever stay just behind the curve when it comes to games, because next week a new engine will be released or an update will be released to something, Unity 4 comes out, things like that, and all of a sudden the game has changed again.
This is just preparing us to enter the industry, and then once we enter the industry, we'll continue learning for a long time.
I think interactivity is something that could be played with a bit more. It's the one thing games have over other mediums.
The same way films can be considered as an indictment on society, games are yet to sort of start engaging society like that.
At the moment we have games for fun. Why can't we make games for learning?
I would like to see it moving in a sense that people know the developers more on a personal level.
I hope that games will be in the same academic and artistic field as things like movies and books.
I think games are going to be more immersive, whether that's through audio or visuals.
Yeah, the virtual reality thing would be very big.
Realistic driving, realistic shooting, realistic everything.
Once virtual reality takes off, and I think that's the right direction for the hardcore gamers, and making a lot the PC games and the consoles more interactive. I think that's the right way technically.
It's an interactive medium. We're always constantly inventing new ways of interactivity.
While virtual reality might be a thing, it's not going to supersede anything. So I just think the overall quality will increase exponentially, the interactivity will increase exponentially, and the jobs of people like me are going to get much harder.
I just basically want to make games that can take people away from their everyday lives for how many minutes a day.
I'm fancy about graphics, but I'm more particular about storytelling.
I'd love to have a game out there that kind of like my own experiences when I was a kid growing up, play these games and play them over and over again. You get that, amazing feeling,
and you just get into the story so much, and that's the kind of legacy I want to create for someone else.
I want my games to feel like they're something personal. People, like real people, have been working on this. This is a labour of their love, and it's something a gamer can come in and enjoy, and hopefully it'll inspire them later on to do something of their own.